Okay, I've stolen the batteries out of a TV controller remote, so everything should be okay, even though I'm bumping the microphone and opening my soda unprofessionally. So, the last 3 episodes, kind of, 2.5, 1 3/4, 1 3/4, 3 5/4. And I'm spilling shit everywhere. This is great. What's going on? I'm acting like a slob in one of my favorite games, and you know, this is one of the things that I, when it comes to recording, especially doing the kind of commentary that I do, where I kind of only have one shot at it. So again, sorry for bumping the microphone. I'm just kind of relaxing, languishing in my wet towel. Oh, you see, that's so much better. I cannot play this game on keyboard. There are just some things where you need to be able to hold the run button and the jump button at the same time. It's no. Okay, anyway. I mean, I know I could probably assign the run button to, like, shift or something like Super Meat Boy controls, but I don't want to do that. No way. See, now I can be a lot more dangerous. Ooh. If anything, this just goes to highlight how different controllers are from keyboards. You know, some people will proclaim, like, keyboards are the ultimate controller because, you know, lots of buttons and whatever. But no, man. Come on. Don't be dissing the analog stick. What did it ever do to you? Whee! So what's going on in gaming news recently? Oh, I gotta tell you, this September, I am so nervous for how September's looking to shape up. So, biggest thing that's making me nervous is the release of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Now, if you guys have been following any kind of gaming news recently, you should know that Konami, you know, the publisher, I dare not say developer, the publisher, I believe they're the publisher, the publisher of the Metal Gear Solid games, has recently been fucking themselves 6 ways from Sunday with the whole canceling of the Silent Hill PT thing that everybody was super hyped up for. Like, the biggest hype train they had going for the Silent Hill games in years. They just said, you know what, fuck it, we're done. And they're just, in general, doing some very poor business practices. Actually, if you look up the most recent Castlevania game developed by Konami, published, whatever, I can't remember if they're publishing, developing, they're more of, anyway. If you look up the most recent Castlevania thing, it is a pachinko machine, which basically just means an arcade game that they've put an awful lot of effort and time into, and the most recent Castlevania game is quite blatantly just boobs and asses, and you know, with some vampires thrown in just to make it kind of, oh look, it's still Castlevania, but no, we're mainly pushing the titties here. And I don't mind titties in games. Titties can serve a good purpose. Even, you know, dicks can serve a good purpose in games. Titties and dicks and everything and whatever, but they need to serve a purpose, okay? You're just, at this point, you're just pandering to us. You're saying, look, we know you're just here for the asses and titties and whatever. I don't know, maybe you're here to see this big guy shove a wooden stake into Dracula. I don't know. Yay. But, don't try to bring Castlevania into it. Just, if you're gonna make, not pornography, but if you're gonna make softcore, not even softcore porn, if you're just gonna make something that's just like, oh, look at this big-titted girl moaning and stuff, make it serve the purpose. Wow, that is incredible slowdown. But I mean, at the same time, you know, what about Quiet from Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain? She's got big titties. Well, that's not really a selling point quite as heavily as the Castlevania trailer seems to make it be. You know, Quiet is just a woman who happens to have big titties who's in the game. You know, there's a distinction, I feel. Not an awfully big one, and it's arguably, you know, just as pandering, but even still, I am incredibly concerned about the fate of Metal Gear with the most recent development of how Konami has been dealing with everything, and the press, and basically just being assholes to everybody. Doesn't matter. For a while now, they've even refused to give out review copies of games that they have, even good games, you know. They don't give review copies, and when they do give review copies to certain publishers, I'm sorry, not publishers, reviewers or publications, they will copyright claim the video, which is a which is a ridiculous thing. It's basically saying, here's a game for you to review and for you to get ad revenue on your channel, which, you know, is how online reviewers make money. But then they go, hey, you're showing footage of our game. Fuck you, give us money. That's some poor business practice right there. That basically means that nobody's gonna want to review your games because you're being dicks. And the Phantom Pain is looking to be our generation's Daikatana. You know, it's Hideo Kojima's last Metal Gear game, and he's in a very ostentatious position, much how like John Romero was back in the 80s, 90s, I can't remember. Basically, this is either going to be his masterpiece, this is going to be his swan song, or it is going to be a giant pile of shit that makes people, I really should have Yoshi here, that makes people nervous about investing $60 on a game. Can I get out of here? No, I can't, but I can do that. Yes. Whatever, I'm not dying. I'll come back with Yoshi. Damn it. I can't get off this bridge. So, that's the biggest concern for me. Ooh, Cookie Mountain. Oh, I remember Cookie Mountain. I love Cookie Mountain as a level. What else is coming out? Ooh, the of course I should bring this up. The Super Mario Maker is coming out on September the 11th. Or as Nintendo is putting it, the 11th of September, trying really hard to make the distinction that we're not releasing a game on 9/11, but we're releasing a game on 9/11. Which is an interesting point that I feel that Americans need to get over, in a way. You know, I feel that 9/11 happened so long ago, and we've in a way, we've taken our revenge on the people that did 9/11. You know, we've killed Osama bin Laden. There's still, of course, unrest in the Middle East, and you've got ISIS and all that shit going on. But for the most part, the people that fucked us up are either dead or hiding or getting shot at, and, you know, we've taken our revenge for the most part. I feel that we've buried the victims. It's time to move on in a way where... I'm not saying, of course, that we should forget about 9/11, but, I mean, what about August 26th? Does that have meaning for you guys? I believe it's the 26th. That was it August? I want to say August. What about I'm basically trying to say, what about the date where we dropped atomic bombs on Japan? You know, do you know that date off of the top of your head? Probably not. But while we did drop nuclear weapons, the only nuclear weapons that have been dropped on a country, admittedly, was in wartime. And I think that's why people get so distraught about 9/11, was because it wasn't done during a wartime. It was completely done to innocent civilians that had no idea that they were at stake at all. And it was just such the shock of that happening. And of course it was at a trade center where a lot of different ethnicities and cultures came in, you know. I will take that, moon. Do not ever give me a game over ever again. There, now as with 9/11, we're getting past this level. So, just Nintendo releasing, you know, not just Mario Maker, but they're also releasing a whole bunch of Amiibo, which we'll never see, by the way. No, America's never going to see those Amiibos. We're going to get about 12 Ganondorfs and nothing else, because that's how Nintendo is handling the Amiibo situation in America. It's just fuck America, which it's disappointing that Nintendo has the market for Amiibos, and they've got the fanatical people that will go and collect anything, because there is that market. And when you combine that factor of, we have something that is very collectible and very well made, because I have the Amiibos, they're extremely well made, they are a wonderful product, But the way that Nintendo has handled the Amiibo situation in America is ridiculous and unacceptable, I feel. Even if there was a Ganondorf in my store, I really feel like I don't want to support their Amiibos anymore, just because I've talked to people who work in retail, and it's a really shitty situation for them, because basically the retailers are getting hassled completely for how Nintendo is choosing to market these things. You know, they're putting them out there, they're doing all this, I don't want to say marketing, I already said marketing, they're doing all this campaigning for Amiibos, and they're putting it out there, and that's the big new feature in a lot of their new games, like, hey, look, Hyrule Warriors is Amiibo compatible, oh my gosh, it's like, well, yeah, but where's Toon Link in stores? He's nowhere. There is no, Toon Link is a legend. You need to buy it online, or from Germany, or from Japan, or just somewhere where Nintendo isn't profiting from it anyway. So, you know, it's a ridiculous cycle, I feel. There, finally, we're done. Yeesh. You know what's ironic is I think that if you go into Star Road, you get a save anyway. Do you get a save? Do you get a save? Oh, I love the theme in here. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, no save. Okay, fair enough. What was I saying? So yeah, the whole September 11th thing. People are really bashing Nintendo, going, "Hey, what are you doing, man? That's kind of our day where nothing should happen." But in a way, I feel that if we hold ourselves back like that and say that, you know, some people even probably think that it should be like a national thing, like, you know, like getting a Veterans Day off, where you take a day off to honor the fallen. In a way, I feel that's kind of saying, I feel like that's, I'm trying really hard to be respectful about this, because this is such a, even what, like, 14 years later, this is still such a touchy subject, that I feel that we shouldn't have that day off, and it shouldn't be a big deal that things are still going on during that day, because if we stop progressing because of 9/11, the people who wanted to terrorize us win, you know? Isn't it more respectful to say we've taken our time to grieve, but we're not going to be held back by that anymore? We're not going to be, you know. Anyway, I'm thinking about it too much. In the next episode, we're just going to play some Mario. How's that? We're not going to get political or whatever. Let's just play fucking Mario.